Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win, you find a way to lose, or you find a way to skirt the system. You get back to the top of the heavyweight division, make gazillions of dollars, just like Tyson Fury, getting away with murder. Now, y'all remember Tyson Fury had a bit of a downward slide since he became the world heavyweight boxing champion back in 2016 or so, where Fury ended up giving up his WBO and WBA belts, supposedly with an immediate effect to focus on treatment and recovery, right, from drugs and other personal problems, all right? And then after Tyson Fury comes out and he's talking about that, it wasn't too much longer where the British Boxing Board of Control said Fury had been temporarily relieved of his boxing license. How many of you guys didn't know that Tyson Fury, till this day, doesn't seem like he has a boxing license? Not a British one anyway. Okay? So anyway, you remember Fury went away after he beat Vladimir Klitschko, right? Where he ended up claiming the WBA, WBO, and IBF titles. All right, nobody expected him to win that fight, but he was able to do it. Okay, but then he twice pulled out the rematch with Klitschko. In case you guys didn't know this, right? He pulled out the rematch with Klitschko twice after being declared, right, medically unfit, not by no doctor, by his own team. Then he came out and said, "I'm unable to defend at this time, and I have taken the hard and emotional decision to now officially vacate my treasured world titles and wish the next in line contenders all the very best as I now enter another big challenge in my life, which I know, like against Klitschko, I will conquer. I feel it's only fair and right for the good of boxing to keep the titles active and allow the other contenders to fight for the vacant belts that I proudly won and held as the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world." Now, during this period, supposedly, he was binging on cocaine and alcohol because he was suffering with, manic depression, right? Now, I think a lot of us had kind of bought into that, hey, he was just drinking, taking drugs, cocaine, Monday through Friday, living like a rock star, and was in a position where he just kind of felt like he wanted to die or wanted someone to kill him. But remember, during that time period, the WBO came out and said that it had received a report from Vada in the United States showing that Fury failed a drug test. The body also said it received information from the British Boxing Board that Fury refused to be drug tested last month ahead of the postponed Klitschko fight. Now, Fury's promotional company, Hennessy Sports, said the titles were being vacated out of respect for the governing bodies, the sport of boxing and the heavyweight division. Now, the statement said that the break will also allow Fury the time and space to fully recover from his present condition without any undue pressure and the expert medical attention he requires. Now, that all sounds like bullshit to me. Anyway, Fury was stripped of the IBF belt soon after beating Klitschko for not fighting a mandatory challenger. That belt, at the time became owned by Anthony Joshua, who ended up going on to fight Klitschko. Now, Fury always said he didn't get a whole lot of credit for beating Klitschko and reigning as a champion. But what ended up happening, man, is his image had been ruined for his comments and tweets about women, homosexuality, and doping, and the fact that he ended up testing positive for drugs and steroids, and that he no longer wanted to try to pursue a boxing license. Now, this is pretty interesting when you think about old Tyson Fury and turning down the Klitschko rematches and not wanting to have to be drug tested and the such, right? Let me close this out. For me, it's very, very interesting. Okay, why isn't this thing closing out? I want to share something else with you, right? Hold on, this thing is freezing up on me, driving me crazy. Okay, here we go. Here we go right here. Okay, so just remember what I just shared with you, right? Fury supposedly is having some personal stuff going on in his life, right? That's why he decided to give away those belts and to go take care of himself, supposedly, right? But anyway, Tyson Fury ended up coming back not too much longer after all of that, and he was free to resume his boxing career. But what ended up happening, right, is Tyson Fury came to a joint agreement with the UK anti-doping to finally resolve those ongoing issues stemming from his drug test and the drug test he didn't want to take. But anyway, it goes on to say that it emerged that a drug test had come back positive for nandrolone some 9 months prior to the Klitschko fight. Fury's legal team argued that his B sample was clean, as were his blood tests, and any trace of a banned substance was a direct result of ingesting contaminated meats. We've all heard this story about the boar meat. It's all bullshit, right? Remember, the rematch with Klitschko fell through twice last year as Fury supposedly battled addiction and was later stripped of his license like we already talked about. But his younger cousin and former heavyweight title challenger Hughie Fury was also under investigation by Ukad, but that case has also been closed. Now, to get the matter resolved, check this out. You know, Tyson Fury disappeared for about 2 years, right? They said Tyson Fury had to accept a backdated 2-year ban. So when Tyson Fury disappeared for those 2 years, supposedly take care of himself and get himself together, they just went ahead and counted that as a 2-year ban. Now to me, this is either he was banned for those 2 years and that's why his ass was going crazy and drinking and doing cocaine and everything else, or this is where the secret society got involved with Tyson Fury at this point and said, I know how to get you back into boxing. And then all of a sudden, they said, hey, you can come on back, but you're just going to have to accept a backdated 2-year ban. So basically, it's like documenting that, hey, he was banned 2 years from the sport of boxing for failed drug tests. See, a lot of people don't know that. That is crazy. This article goes on to say how basically it was like everything was settled because even though we knew we could win this case in a big way, we wanted to get on with both fighters' careers. That's what the promoter Mick Hennessy told RingTV.com. If we waited around, it could take another 18 months to 2 years. Ukad could not prove that either Hughie or Tyson Fury had knowingly taken performance-enhancing drugs, and that's why the automatic 4-year ban was not enforced. Now, you guys probably noticed that Hughie Fury hasn't been doing much fighting either. But when he was fighting, he was out here binging people, wasn't he? But he disappeared from the sport for a while too, right? Things started to make a little bit of sense. Anyway, where's this right here? it says, there's some information from the Ukad website. It says committing an ADRV, anti-doping rule violation, means that an athlete, coach, or athlete support person could be liable for a sanction which may include a ban from the sport. The sanction for intentional cheating is 4 years for the first offense, and there is less leniency for carelessness. You are likely to receive a 2-year or more ban for inadvertent doping. So they were able to pull this off as him inadvertently doping, and he got a 2-year backdated ban, which basically means it's either he knew he was going to get the 2-year ban, or he really disappeared because he had serious issues going on, and then somehow somebody got involved, and we're like, look, let's get you back in the sport of boxing. We'll take care of this doping bullshit. And it came out where they just gave him a backdated 2-year ban. Y'all think that's fair? How did Fury pull that shit off? Anyway, it went on that Ukad's position was that the anti-doping rule violation asserted had been committed, right? That Tyson Fury and Hughie Fury, but we're just talking about Tyson Fury, actually committed the violations, and the consequences set out in the UK anti-doping rules should apply. So Tyson Fury, of course, continues saying he never knowingly or deliberately committed any anti-doping rule violation. But nobody was really buying it. And then there was where is that? Oh, Tyson Fury goes on to say here, I'm a fighting man, through and through, and I never backed down from anyone in my life. I was certainly not going to back down from fighting this dispute. Sure, Tyson Fury. And it's going on to say how they maintain their innocence. Now, what Fury decided to do here, he decided not to apply for a boxing license. Now, y'all may say, well, what do you mean he decided not to apply for a boxing license? Tyson Fury formally relinquished his license with the British Boxing Board of Control. So as a result, it put him beyond reach of any reopening of the UK anti-doping investigation into him. See, a lot of people don't know that. Tyson Fury relinquished his license. You see, like Conor Ben kind of relinquished his license, says he doesn't want it no more. Tyson Fury did the same thing, and he still doesn't have his license. And that's what's crazy, because when you make a decision like that, you could effectively put yourself beyond the reach of any investigation. But anyway, you're probably saying, well, how the hell did Fury come and fight Deontay Wilder? Because Fury boxed under a Nevada license when he won the title from Deontay Wilder. He last boxed in the UK in August 2018. At that time, it was August 2018, it was required to renew his license each year. But Fury didn't do it, he just let his license expire. Now, you may say, well, okay, we get it, but he has fought in the UK. So if there was something deliberate or something foul going on, how was Tyson Fury able to fight out there in the in the UK? Well, I'll tell you how he was able to fight in the UK. After he fought Deontay Wilder in the States those 3 times, he was fighting over a license in the United States. Check this shit out. Now remember, all these things are happening with Tyson Fury, right? Disappears from the sport, gets a backdated 2-year ban, comes back to the sport of boxing. I've already done a video to explain a whole lot of shit about Tyson Fury getting back to the sport of boxing. But now I'm filling in some more gaps for you. So when he decided he was going to come back to the UK and face Dillian Whyte, face Derek Chisora, Tyson Fury, he boxed as an overseas boxer when he faced those guys, and he did not reapply for his British license. So Fury relinquished his license with the British Boxing Board of Control in 2020 and is presently and was presently licensed by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. So he never reapplied for a British boxing license. It ended up expiring, and he just let that everything go. He didn't want it. So the boxing in the UK, right, at the time, he would have had to apply for a temporary license as an overseas boxer with the British Boxing Board of Control. And then he said he doesn't want to be licensed in the UK again. And now you see, with all the fighting going on in Saudi Arabia, how Tyson Fury isn't crazy about fighting back in the UK. Because all this stemmed from Tyson Fury getting popped for doping and cheating and getting caught with all that crap back there around the Klitschko fight. It all goes back to that. He didn't want to deal with them reopening anything on him or digging any more into him cheating and getting caught with that nandrolone and the other substances in his system. So he was able to dodge a bullet, and he's been dodging that bullet ever since. He even went on to tell people that he's an American fighter now. When I boxed Wilder the last time, I was introduced as from Henderson, Nevada. Remember Fury came to the States and bought a house and was getting set up in the States and all this shit? This was all, there's a reason why he did that. And he was talking about how he was establishing a residency in the United States. Not because he cared to live here. He hasn't even been back to the United States. Y'all realize that? Tyson Fury ain't been back to no goddamn United States. But that house and all that shit he bought is still out there. He did that so he can get that license and he can continue to duck the British Boxing Board of Control and this doping and shit. These tests for doping. It's crazy, man. Boy. And it just says here, like I said, even though Fury owns a house in Henderson, he hasn't visited it since returning to the UK in October, and will be training close to home in Morecambe. So you see, he bought that house there, and that shit, I could probably go squat in that house. Tyson Fury don't care about that damn house. It's crazy, man. So Fury relinquished his British license at the time when UK anti-doping said they were investigating claims by a farmer that he had lied as part of his defense in a doping inquiry, after which Fury accepted a backdated 2-year ban for failing a test for nandrolone in 2015, which I just talked to you about. But remember, that guy came out saying he lied. They paid that guy off to lie. So Tyson had a Vegas license, no different from any foreign fighter coming over here. Warren said there'd be no problem. And then it says here, Fury's plan was to fight in the UK and train here. So when I fight in America, I train there. So his plan was to still fight in the UK and train there, fight in America and train there. But I tell you what, this right here just stinks. And then you look now, right? Because all that crap happened with Klitschko, the doping, fight being canceled, then having to fight, then not wanting to take the rematches, right? Then he comes to the States, fights Wilder. The fight doesn't go quite as planned, the first one. Then he ends up talking about his team caught COVID. He needed time to do X, Y, and Z. Then they have the fight. Tyson Fury tranquilizes Wilder. Then they go into the third fight. He tranquilizes him. The whole time there's no Vada, no nothing taking place, is what it sounds like. But the bottom line is he was dodging that bullet out there in the UK. He didn't want anything to do with the UK, and for those guys to open up anything back on him when it came to the UK anti-doping and the investigation claims by that guy, that farmer who said he lied. He never gave those guys any of that wild pork or wild beef, wild hog, whatever the hell it was. Absolutely crazy. And you look at where Tyson Fury is now. Doing the same old people. Tyson Fury, his whole career is a joke. It is a joke. This man went running from the sport of boxing because he got caught cheating. That's what happened in 2015, 2016. He disappeared for 2 years and was going crazy because he knew he was caught, and if he wanted to come back, he'd have to face those demons, had to face Ukad, had to face the British Boxing Board of Control. Around that time is where he met Ukad, who was referred to as a godsend. He told him he would take Fury back to the top of the heavyweight division, lead him to unimaginable wealth. That's how, in my opinion, that whole 2-year backdated ban, that's how that shit came about, even though it's written in the instructions. That's why they applied it to him and backdated it. It shouldn't have been backdated because he was done with boxing because he had personal issues and drug issues, supposedly, and alcohol, right? But they hooked him up. How he got hooked up? I mean, I don't know. I think he had the connection. Secret society. Comes back to the sport of boxing. Gets his first fight out the way. Fights Wallen. Gets a cut. A horrible cut. They don't stop the fight. He beats Wallen. Goes into the fight with Wilder. All kind of funny business in that first fight. From the count to being knocked out cold, referee not waving it off, dropping on his hands and knees, tongue kissing him. Then the second fight, Fury, my team caught COVID, gets in the fight with Wilder, fights dirty, he knocks Wilder out, changes his trainer. All kind of crap happens in that second fight. Nothing made sense. That whole second fight confused everybody. Everybody had, their brains were scrambled because it was like, okay, what are we watching? It's not what Fury had ever done to anyone. It's nothing that anyone could have anticipated. Then all of a sudden the story started flying. He cheated, he this, he that, he this, he that. Right? The whole time where he's doing this shit, he's working with Usman Sajjad and he's got Daniel Kinahan looking out for him as a consultant, right? For his matches with Deontay Wilder. Then you have the third match, he gets in there. Same thing, working with Usman Sajjad. Wilder kind of tightens up his game a little bit, puts up a more competitive fight in the third fight, but he still loses. But the whole time Tyson Fury fighting in the States, under a Nevada license, then decides to return back to the UK. All of a sudden, there's another gray area loophole. He gets a fight in the UK but without getting a British boxing license. And nobody can open up a case on him or start to investigate him because he's not fighting under a British boxing license, so he's seen as an overseas fighter, which is out of their jurisdiction. Now he fights Dillian White and Derek Chisora, makes two huge paydays. Doesn't have to worry about anybody harassing him, because he's working the system. Somebody's looking out for him, guiding him along the way back to the top of the heavyweight division. He ends up in Saudi making gazillions of dollars now. Now, when you guys take all of this shit into consideration, you tell me what you think. Doesn't matter if you like Tyson Fury or not. You just sit back here and just mull over the gaps that I just filled. From the video I did a year ago to what we just went over. Something not right here, man. Something ain't right here. It's just not right. Something is off. I'm telling y'all, man, I don't trust nothing about this guy, and that's my right. I have every right to believe. Before there was some smoke, right? God damn it, there's fire. Tyson Fury is hooked up and in deep with the secret society. You mean to tell me this man, Tyson Fury, the old gypsy king, me, Tyson Fury, it's me title, the lineal champion on me, Tyson Fury. I beat them fair and square. Deontay Wilder's a crybaby. Tuscaloosa, Alabama, a country boy like him can never beat me, Tyson Fury, the lineal gypsy lineal. Y'all trying to tell me Tyson Fury knew all these goddamn loopholes and all these instructions and regulations and technical orders and pamphlets? He by himself knew how to go out there and find all this shit? Get a house in the States that he don't even care about just so he can get the license and fight over there? Not have to worry about doping, not have to worry about anything that happened to him back in the UK? And he knew what to do to come back to the UK to fight as a foreigner? get them 2 fights out the way, get his dough, I'll go over to Saudi. Said he'll never fight in the UK again. Now there's, pay attention to this. This is a whole nother video. You watch. Tyson Fury ain't gonna fight no goddamn AJ. Not in the UK. You watch. I'm gonna do a video about this shit tomorrow. I'm about to go to bed. Tyson Fury is not gonna go back and expose his own skeletons. Shit he got in the closet out in the UK. Not in a high-profile fight with Anthony Joshua. He's not gonna do it. I don't care what you say, and if he does, we're gonna have to understand how he's doing it. Because I'm telling y'all right now, it's too much of a risk for Tyson Fury to go out there and face AJ in the UK. He already said all of his fights are going to be done over in Saudi. You watch. If Tyson Fury beats Usyk, and if he somehow ends up making it down the line for him and AJ to fight, he's either not going to fight AJ, or he's going to say, because he's Tyson Fury, the gypsy lineal gypsy, I'm Tyson Fury, I beat them fair and square. He's going to want to have that fight in Saudi. You watch. Watch what happens. Anyway, I'm in the breeze.